Hi guys, when talking about the cost of living crisis, we tend to focus on bills and on food. But there are a whole range of expenses families face, and the solutions being presented by both Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss are simply not going to cut it. Another important point is that families can't wait for Sunak or Truss to take over from Boris Johnson. They need action now. James O'Brien spoke to a teacher who described how desperate many parents are at this moment. Have a listen.
If you think about the people that are going to suffer the most, maybe that would help them, but that's not the people that are right at the bottom of the ones on universal credit and stuff. It's not going to help them. Things like she's not thinking about the children that are going to go to school hungry, children are going to go to school dirty, not with uniform. I teach and we have parents ringing now saying, can somebody help me buy a uniform?
Can someone help me buy a uniform? Now, it's important to remember that there is generally support for poorer families that have existed for a number of years. But now you have families that were doing okay 12 months ago, but today are struggling and they can't afford to buy uniforms. And either they can't apply for these benefits, or if they do, it's just going to be too late by the time they actually receive the support. So this is, once again, there are so many issues that are not being covered by the media, and we have to rely on people in the industry, people in the sector, to highlight these problems.
That's how dire the situation is now. We're not in November, we're not in October.
No.
We're not in the next price hike in January. So I just don't think that anybody at all in government cares. I don't think Labour are making a big noise about it. They're not there banging on the doors and demanding something. I think they're just I don't know what they're doing.
What could they be doing different? I mean, bearing in mind Gordon Brown is a Labour politician, although he's not,
yeah, but he's
of course,
not
part of the current.
He's not.
What should Starmer be doing differently?
Well, Starmer should be doing
what Gordon Brown is doing.
Yeah, he should be saying these things because he can stand at the dispatch box on the 6th of September or whenever the first Wednesday is and say that and repeat what he's been saying for the last 6 weeks to the new PM. Which will be a laugh anyway, but I actually.
Yeah, I think you're right to include them. I think Keir Starmer should be doing more as well. I mean, I suppose for him the problem is what he's not at PMQs.
He doesn't have an idea, does he? He does not have an idea.
Well, unless he tells you what it is, you are perfectly entitled to conclude that he doesn't.
I actually think somebody should make Mick Lynch Prime Minister for the next 6 months, because I think we might get something done, because he's the only person I've heard in the last 6 months that has actually said the truth, spoken it honestly. I listened to part of the podcast he did with you. The man has an answer, he doesn't lie, he's up front.
It would be wonderful. I think it would be amazing if the Labour Party put Mick Lynch in charge for a while. He definitely hold Boris Johnson to account and the Tories to account, and he wouldn't hold back. That's not going to happen, unfortunately. But what should the Labour Party be doing? I think they need... Look, they can try and avoid this by hoping... If they try and avoid this, they can hope that the Tories just tear each other apart and it will help the Labour Party get into power. But people are desperate. People need to have someone standing up for them. You can't rely on Mick Lynch. Mick Lynch is a union leader. He's not a politician. Keir Starmer, I think, should be leading the charge here. You can't have ex-politicians like Gordon Brown doing this. It has to be the leader of the opposition. Now, he's going to get criticised, but isn't it better to be criticised by the Tories and the right-wing media than by the people? The people need somebody to stand up for them. Starmer has to do that. I understand the political Machiavellian tactics he's trying to apply here. Yes, allow the Tories to rip each other apart and then swoop in and win a majority. Maybe that's his tactic, maybe that's his strategy. But people are struggling at the moment and they need someone being their voice. You can wait until September, but most people can't. If the schools are opening soon and families are calling teachers to help them buy a uniform, This is a desperate situation. Now, of course, this problem has existed for a long time, but there, as far as I know, there is support for poorer families. But there are now more poorer families, and many people who have never been on benefits before or have never tried to claim any benefits before are now facing a cost of living crisis, which is forcing them to choose between feeding their families and paying the bills. And extra cost like a uniform is going to tip many people into a very desperate situation. Somebody needs to stand up. Somebody needs to be the voice of these people. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.